Yo, what the fuck is going on? It's Presto Finesto, and right now I got a special episode right now. I just had to back out the legend, my father. Me and him is gonna have a topic. We're gonna have a talk about certain things. He's gonna enlighten some of y'all about certain key things that I believe and he believes is important, and we just gonna get straight to it. My first thing with your dad, or I wouldn't even say dad, I'll categorize it as older individuals. Younger people, we like to call them older heads. The frustration with you guys at times is we listen to y'all music, we nod our head, it's decent. At times y'all listen to our music and you guys may feel like it's trash, or we haven't necessarily evolved music wise compared to how music was back in the day. So I want to ask you personally, like, do you think that music has gone backwards since the days of real boom bap or rap, or do you feel like there's just much more for us to learn?
Look, in the area of Afrobeat, I think it has really advanced. I remember when we were growing up, there was just Fela. There was Miriam Makeba. Then you have maybe Lucky Dube for a moment. But that was it. Even now, I would say, even with Jamaican music, I believe it was more robust 25 years ago than it is today.
I admit, there's a lot of music out here in parties from old days than out here new now.
Like in the 70s, you had a lot of quality music with the Bob Marley, with the Dennis Browns, and all these other guys, Paris Hammond, all those guys. But now, the music that they're putting together now really doesn't have a message.
And would you say it doesn't have a message, or do you feel like the message may not be clear or actually a positive message?
The message doesn't necessarily need to be positive, but it needs to be a message that I guess people can universally identify with. We can listen to it. A lot of people have maybe experienced what the artist is singing or talking about, and we can say that, you know, we share that same
similar.
Right. That was how rap started. I mean, we listened to the De La Souls, Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe Called Quest, yes.
Heavy D.
Heavy D was fire. I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Heavy D. And if you listen to their music, you could be anywhere in the world and you could identify with it. Okay. Even though you may not, because look, even though I was born here, I schooled overseas. So being raised overseas, this was during a time when there was no Afrobeat industry.
This was just Fela, you saying, right? This was the time.
This was just the time of Fela. He was the only one out there. All these other guys started pretty much after I was already here.
Okay.
Because, you know, I did a couple of shows, you know, back in the day, and I knew a lot of the promoters when they were coming up. This is when these artists were coming in and performing for like $8,000.
Give some names. You gotta throw some names out there. Let them know what's. I know Two-Face was one, right?
Two-Face was the beginning. He was probably the first to do a show. I think he did a show right off of Pennsylvania Avenue.
So you're saying
maybe Two-Face a block from Linden.
So you're saying Two-Face was one of the first people to break through.
Yeah.
And come into America now and have an audience.
And performing, right. Gotcha. And then there was
P Square.
P Square came when things started to take off.
Okay.
P Square came when, you know, you needed like 25 grand to bring an artist like that. But yeah, it took about 10 grand. Show was like maybe $20-$25 to get in those days.
$25. It's kind of similar to now. People
now, you know, it's like 60, 70, 100,
okay,
150.
Because I'm thinking about like from young me, you know, we paid $25 to get into a party, but you're saying for an official show,
with a performer, with a performer,
and definitely.
And these halls probably took maybe 300-400 people at the time. I remember when P Square came, that hall took maybe 2,500.
Okay.
It was at Amazura. So in those days, actually, Jamaican music drew bigger crowds and were bigger shows. You know, with the Movados and the Paris Hammonds and all those guys. You know, those guys performed for maybe like $50,000-$60,000 a set. But nowadays, with some of these Afrobeat artists are commanding millions for a show.
So my question with that is, what do you think is the sauce with Afro beats that is making them now come into the market of American music and kind of now demand a larger sum than even American artists who we would deem as popular?
Well,
They're little
because
babies,
because
but
the American artists right now, they don't have anything to talk about.
break that down as far as nothing to talk
Well,
about. You feel like we've talked about struggle too much? We've talked about grinding too much?
No. Everybody is not interested in listening to what is going on your block. To the level whereby we're dealing with whatever crimes you're trying to commit, how you're choosing to degrade women and talk about women, and how women want themselves to be seen. Most women around the world do not want to be seen the way these women are portraying themselves in the videos that they're selling. Like, one of my favorite songs was Saturdays. It's a remix by De La Soul. Watch that music video and look at how the women are portrayed in that video compared to the way a lot of these women are portrayed in the rap videos that we're watching now. You know, with the rap videos they're watching now, it's almost like they're about to have sex in the video. And if you look at those videos from back in the day with, like I said, De La Soul and everybody else, those look like women that you could take home to your mother and say, well, you know, this is a girl I just met. You understand what I mean? You would be very comfortable doing so. But the girls that we see portrayed now, you're expecting somebody to come and ask you, was she on OnlyFans? OnlyFans? Did you?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want to know, where do you think music went wrong, or at what point do you believe it took a left turn for the worse or for a negative rather than a positive? Where do you feel like the train parted ways at?
The fans have outgrown the artists.
Explain that, break that down.
Right now you have a lot of American guys, young guys, professional guys, working guys, who are exploring the world.
True.
You call them passport bros.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You call them passport bros.
That's a fact.
You have a lot of African American women who are saying, they're telling their boyfriends, hey, I want you to take me on a trip to Africa. I want you to take me on a trip to Europe. I want to see the world.
Facts.
I want to go to Dubai.
Some girls don't even deserve it. They want to go. I ain't gonna lie, that's a fact.
So these women are all telling their men, look, I have a passport. I want to go somewhere. I want to see some things. I want to see the world. The artists, that's not what they're talking about. Music is no longer aspirational. On my generation, I would say, you had the Jay-Z's and the Diddy's, right?
No Diddy.
Yeah, right. But the thing is, with that generation, yes, it took a turn, because I would say the golden era of rap was really 1990. The 80s going into 1990. After that, the music changed.
And when you say that change, that's very important. Where do you think it changed?
It went dark. It went dark. It went dark. It started off with NWA.
Okay.
But when NWA came out, we were like, oh wow, this is the way they're treating African Americans in the United States. Oh wow, there's a 2-tier system. One system for white people and one system. Foreigners coming into the United States were like oblivious of all of this. So it was they brought awareness. Then after that, it went into Snoop.
And that was like
Snoop and Snoop and Dre. And that exploded worldwide.
Facts.
But when it exploded worldwide, we just kind of looked at them that, okay, these are poor kids coming from the ghetto. Okay, they're in a local public park. They're doing their thing. It wasn't like something like De La Soul where the kids looked like they were from middle class.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Among the black society.
Yeah.
You had the artists who came from Long Island. So they were looked at as like middle class. And then you had the Snoops, and they looked like they came straight from the bottom.
Facts.
Yeah, it was gritty.
I like nothing but a G thing.
Because they were talking about what was going on among
the block,
between them.
Facts.
But it wasn't necessarily, I'm gonna kill you. It wasn't as bad as that. And then it just progressively got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
For the part of our kill you part and things like that, I want to chime in and say that they